Hello.
Hello, hello. How are you doing? Every episode, I feel like our backgrounds change.
I know. I'm actually quite liking the artwork on your walls there today.
Yeah, yeah. That's why I put the camera here because I have a decent view on the other side as well. I have a city view of Frankfurt,
Oh, nice.
and I like the art as well. So I wanted, and normally I'm not the biggest, let's say, appreciator of art, but it looks very nice. It looks very
Ah,
nice.
you got to spend some time. Life is too short for not appreciating art.
Yeah, yeah. It's like it's my intelligence. Like I really appreciate. For example, I I know my like I read I read a lot about architecture and so on. So I can say I
Oh,
know my architecture stuff, but I
oh,
can't say
nice.
like
Ah, okay, very good. Well, welcome everyone to Full Stack for Noobs, where
yeah
Sally and myself are building something. Um, we're building a quiz. We're building a quest application. This is the seventh episode. We put a link in the chat to the previous episodes. And in this series, I am the full stack noob. I'm the front end noob, actually. Back end, I'm okay with, but front end, I'm absolutely at sea, which is where my good friend and colleague Sally comes in. And so, what we've been doing is starting from the first episode and exploring our intent of what we're building and the architecture. The subsequent episodes have all been quite a ride, right? As we've been
yeah
building this really cool thing, this quiz, and actually, I think we're getting very close to the front end being finished, Sally.
yeah absolutely. And I was checking out some of the numbers since the day we started and like where we are at right now, and it is funny enough, we have the constant growth in all the platforms that we have uh, been live streaming. Like
Yeah, yeah.
it feels so nice to see that like people also have more comments and they have been joining the conversations and everything. That was really nice. And yeah, like sadly for me, we are slowly coming to the end part for the front end. But I think we did a good job. Let me
Yeah, so
remind.
as you're bringing your screen up, just let me remind everyone. So yes, we do welcome all your comments, all your questions as we are building using Kiro, this amazing application. Which hopefully, if you come to an event where AWS has a presence, you will be able to interact with, because this is something that we are actually going to be using for real. Which is why we're spending a lot of time making sure that this looks and acts correctly. So, Sally. I think where we left it last episode, episode 6, was that we pretty much got all the elements and the components that we had. I think the only thing that we were working on is the theming, because it didn't quite look like how we wanted to, and we wanted to figure out how could we change the application so that we can add our own graphic elements. And I think that's where my questions as a front end noob, kind of caused us to go down quite a few rabbit holes.
Yeah, I think what we were at. Like, do you think we should show people where we are at,
Yeah,
or
let's give a summary of where we are so that people can see what it looks like, because it is a thing of beauty. I think we are rightly proud of what Kiro has produced for us.
yeah? I mean,
So we are we're proud of this so far. As we can see, we have the main page, a splash page, welcome page. I think we called it welcome page, not splash page,
yeah,
which alternates between the quest and then the leaderboard,
yeah,
from which you can then click on start to start a new game, where you define your name and some other details. Currently we're supporting a number of different languages, which will play into some of the topics that you might have to answer with. This way allows you to choose what you're strongest in. And then we go to the main kind of game board, where you have to move from left to right. Okay. And people familiar with those kind of strategy games. This was the other thing we had to fix, wasn't it? So it wasn't
yeah,
just the theming. The code editor.
yeah, yeah.
So we
Yeah.
hadn't quite finished this issue. So do you think
Yeah.
we should carry on? Should we do the theming first or fix the code editor first?
I mean, my plan is let's write everything
Yeah.
down, and I will let you
Okay.
decide on it
I will
because
I will keep a mental note. Let's
uh,
fix the code editor then. So the code editor needs to be, and remember, folks, when you're using these AI coding systems, always do one thing at a time, right?
yeah,
They work much better. In fact, I was reading this week. someone had shared their best practices
Yeah.
of using an alternative AI coding assistant. And what's interesting is that every single one, kind of like, I was nodding my head saying, "Yep, this is absolutely right." And one of the things is, as tempting as it might be to try and tackle big tasks, do break down to the smallest component that you can and get them to work on that.
Do you
So
have a link or something to this?
I will try and find it. Actually, yes, that's a good call, Sally. Actually, what I did, as you're working your way through these questions,
Yeah.
what I actually did is I just realised I have all these links,
Yeah.
and I don't really manage them very well. And I'm not, for people of a certain age, right, will remember a website called Delicious. I'm not sure, Sally, if that was around when you were in tech.
No,
But
I
Delicious was effectively social bookmarking. It was called social bookmarking was the thing.
yeah.
And effectively what it would be, imagine Reddit or do you remember Dig? Because Dig was a similar thing. So Dig, which
I
again I don't know
remember
if it's still
Pocket.
around.
Like Pocket was something that sounds familiar to me.
Yeah, so
Like
Dig was basically sharing any website,
yeah.
and then you could basically, upvote it, downvote it, comment on it. And Delicious was just for bookmarks. So you
Oh,
as an individual could curate your own bookmarks, and then you could share them with people, right? And then you could share and find people who had common bookmarks with you. So the social network,
yeah.
okay, construct was who's got the most common bookmarks with me. And actually, it's quite, if
Ah,
you think about it, it's quite clever. It's quite a clever social graph, right?
yeah.
Um, but it
It's
kind of
really cool.
died. It died, and I just think it's a shame, because now I don't have a really decent way of managing my bookmarks other than the browser, right? And the browser, whilst they're getting better at syncing bookmarks across devices, they're not really good at things like tagging metadata and all that kind of stuff. And so being able to find something you want then becomes scrolling through literally nested menus in browsers. It doesn't work, right? So I actually for instance, Tuesday I implemented my own Delicious to
I,
save my
I
bookmarks. So I'm going to find it. I'm going to boot it up, and I'm going to go to I'm going to see if I can find it in there.
should we maybe start a startup or something, you know?
Yeah. You know what? Maybe folks who are listening, maybe if you
Yeah.
remember Delicious, or if you remember Dig, then let us know, because I thought it was a really solid, solid thing. But you know, anyway, right. So Sally,
No
what are we
worries.
doing?
So I wrapped up everything, and like the biggest problem is the code editor.
I think that's the
The
only thing at the moment, isn't it? Because
exactly.
that's the only outstanding issue. So this code editor is the one thing, and then second thing, which we'll do afterwards, is basically fix the theming. Which we, for those who missed the previous episode, what we did was we asked Kiro to do some stuff, and it didn't do it very well. So what we did is we used a feature of Kiro called restore checkpoints that allowed us to undo all of the changes. Now, what was interesting is we realized there was maybe a potential issue with the steering file that Sally had created. And this is something you need to be mindful of. If you create steering files that are automating the checking of code into the local repo, you'll have this conflict, right, whereby your local Git repo is in state A,
Yeah.
and then I remove all the files because of the checkpoint, and now those are out of sync. So something to think about, as you whether you think about whether you want to include that automated Git. The other alternative, obviously, is not to use the Kiro restore checkpoints, which you can see there at the top of the screen now, and just use Git. So basically use the Git navigator to basically revert back to a previous commit, okay, which I've done. You have to do the hard reset or hard fork. I can't remember what it's called. There's a command option
Yeah.
that basically you need to use.
Restore.
Otherwise, the files are still there, right? So,
Yeah. Yeah.
something to think about.
Yeah. Like both approaches has their advantages or disadvantages. For me, Git always feels natural because of the years that we have been using
Totally.
Git to actually fix this problem. That being said, I think there was one very important point that you mentioned. The AI is not aware of the state of the application, especially in the chat window that you're in. So when you reverted from Git, you have to also make a summary of the changes that you reverted uh, into the chat as well. So it is aware of the changes or what needs to be done and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So what I asked was, by the way, just to let you know, like this snippet that we've seen here in this one, okay, now it's fixed, but in the original image that we have here, it was looking like a CSS code.
Right.
Probably there was a formatting error. That's what I guessed. So I
Yeah.
said, right now it shows a CSS value and it only allows me to select the CSS value, and that is it. And let me continue with this. So what it did was it checked out everything. It checks out the regular expression groups. The reason that it checks out is the code editor, my guess, because I didn't check, we can ask it later as well, probably is not using an out-of-the-box code editor library. It has probably implemented something by itself.
Right.
With that in place, JavaScript code might have an highlighter for from Python, and that's why it might look ugly. So in here, it seems like it is fixing that. So in here, for example, like let's find a simpler question. Okay, it doesn't matter. So it says like write a function that finds the nth Fibonacci number, and I actually will use Kira for this.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
not
definitely the
going
way.
to do it. Jay's question. Write a function that we, you know, because you know it already well. Like I was at an event yesterday. I'm going to an event today as well. So I really want to keep my head fresh so I can say meaningful things during the live stream so everyone can learn properly.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I copied and pasted, and what it did basically, like, if when you think about the Fibonacci, it's the Fibonacci is basically 1 1 2 3 5 thing that, like, you add the previous number and write it to the next kind of logic, right? So it says, like, if it's 0 and 1, just return what it is, and if it's the other way around, then you basically map things around, and we can submit, and you can see that it is actually correct. So yeah, okay, we are in a good state.
Okay, so
Right now.
that's that issue done and dusted. And how quick was that? Eh? How long
Yeah.
do you think we might have been sort of like going through the files to fix that? You know, in the old days,
Yeah. I
a
mean, no,
long time,
this
right?
is this, like, to understand it, to fix it, and actually properly implement it. I know it will be a day. Like yesterday, I was talking to a few developers, and one thing that I want to share with you that I didn't have a chance to share yesterday, I was talking to a developer, and to give a bit of context, the event was about building mobile apps with AI. And for the folks who don't know me, I come from mobile application development background, and like, moving forward, I did everything human facing, I would say. Anyway, like yesterday, I was talking to one of the attendees, and it was super funny that, like, she was, I think, coming from backend like you do, and she was saying, yeah, like, my go-to feeling is, like, I always want to build the backend first. And I
Yeah.
said, we had this live stream that we literally discussed it, and I convinced my colleague to actually do the front end first, and I convinced her to do the front end first at the spot.
I
And
actually saw the pictures of that event. So that was the is it recap or user group in Zurich? Was it?
no, it's an event that was um, organized by Bitrise, which is
Oh,
an
okay.
AWS partner, with AWS being the location sponsor, but that was made by Bitrise, and of course the AWS counterpart of Bitrise from the because Bitrise is an AWS partner as well. And but the focus was just around building mobile apps.
Okay.
Like I didn't even talk about AWS. I just built an application on the spot through prompt engineering and showcased how you can use AI properly, and not the vibe mode, proper proper prompts, specs, and everything. Anyway, what was I going to say? So yeah, like I totally lost the plot. Sorry. So what I want to say was actually yes, I remembered. Like these live streams that we did, it actually solves even many problems that we don't see, or like we can't foresee until we meet the people. So yesterday I told the person that like she should check out the live stream today because we're literally talking about her direct problems as well.
Cool.
Yeah, sorry, I was just
No,
yapping.
sorry. So I think the other thing we wanted to do, just before we kind of go ahead, I think probably just from the point of view of development, okay, we don't want to spend all that time you going through answering the questions manually, right? Every time we're doing this. So what we probably want to do is add just for development purposes, or for is a button that automatically moves. So I think we probably want to phrase it from the point of view of, for testing, to help with development and testing, add a button that allows you to automatically get the correct answer for any question.
Yeah. Go from left to right. Create a button to bypass the question and continue to the next round. Make sure to put it under a flag so we can turn it off before we release the app. Does it make sense? Like right now, like to have a logic.
Yeah.
With this approach, I think it would be very, very cool. Oh man, yeah, but yeah, definitely yesterday was a lot of fun for some folks around Hero and everything. By the way, this is new, right? The context gatherer thing.
Oh, that is new. Yeah, that's new. So need to understand the game flow and state management. So invoke. Okay, interesting.
One really, like, for me, crazy part is like we don't have any steering files for the project or anything, and it's like this. I didn't write it. This context gatherer comes from
where did that come from? Yeah, so that's interesting. So why? So because there was an update yesterday, wasn't there? There was an update that I wanted.
So it is insane that like this just said, you know what?
Yeah, absolutely. IDE.
And
change log.
Yeah, that was scary.
I'm trying to see the change log at the moment, but I can't see. Okay, change log for the IDE. So we've got that release on actually it was the 5th of Feb. So we've got customer subagents, agent skills, pre and post tool hooks, web tools governance. That's it. So contextual hooks, per file code review. So it's not listed in the change log. So that is, I wonder if that's something that's come from the model. Interesting. But I've not seen that before. I have not seen that.
No, this is from like I know there's something about this in the docs somewhere.
Okay.
For it. This is definitely from Cure itself.
Okay.
And for me, the cool thing about this is it doesn't always get triggered. Like it understands when it needs more context. So it actually allows you to keep a proper context window. And if the current context window does not help you, then it actually turns.
I'm looking at the moment around this content management. I can't see this documented anywhere. But I'm sure you're right. But I just can't see it anywhere.
There's a skip question button now. Nice. can just move forward. And
look at that. Isn't that much better?
yeah, 100%. 100%. One like I saw one tiny issues of do you want to fix it? There's this round 310 something. It doesn't work.
No, we want to get that actually is because the player can play as many tasks as they want, right? So we
Yeah.
want to get rid of the 0% sort of thing, whatever it's called. I mean, I guess
Yeah.
progress bar. I guess it's the game
Yeah.
progress bar.
Yeah.
Doesn't work. I agree.
So should I fix it now or?
Yeah, let's fix it now. Let's do. We want to get everything nice, right?
Yeah, exactly. Today is the fine tuning day, and not game day. We really want to just make things look nicer and just put everything in place. So I would say on the right panel at the game page, the progress bar is not functioning properly. Can you please fix it? I'm being nice again. I mean, with the one thing that I've seen is the situation with CloudBot and everything, and people build and social media kind of thing for CloudBots to share something between them.
Yeah,
And
it's called
they use
Malbook or something. You know?
yeah, exactly. And another thing is like they also build this is just for fun, but they built a human catalog for CloudBots, so the bot can find a proper human for them.
That's awesome.
It's like,
Well, welcome to the future. We are just resources for AI to use, right?
yeah, exactly. It
Use
is
and
so
abuse us.
crazy. It is so crazy to me. Like it is, of course, like people do it for fun, and right now it's like nice. Then immediately, I think of again, we talked about this book many times, but the iRobot from Isaac Asimov. Immediately,
Yeah.
like the book, that book comes to my mind. Or if you like watch the movie as well, like they are not the same, but more or less tell similar stories. Right. Okay. Right now, it fixed it. No, it didn't. It is thinking. Like the one thing that I realized with like Opus's thinking, its reasoning is longer but more accurate.
Right.
Yeah, it is in a like surprisingly positive way. It is actually doing a great job on thinking about different scenarios and saying,
Right.
"Hey, like, I thought about this, but it is
But you
not
don't
right."
always need it, right? You don't always need that. I think that's the thing for me. Is that I think frugality is one of my favorite LPs at Amazon, and I think that everyone is more, cost conscious these days, and we should all be thinking about cost minimization as well as cost optimization. And for me, I think Opus is great, but it's 2.2x credits. So I'm always thinking if I'm going to do something simple, use the right model, right? And actually, this is another that post I mentioned before that also went on to talk about this. And I believe actually the CLI now just introduced this week. Kiro, what we're showing you is Kiro's IDE, but it also comes in CLI flavor. And this week, I believe it shipped a whole bunch of new models.
Not like the new models are like shipped to everywhere, not just the CLI. The open models, right? The open models have been added to everywhere, except
including because they're not in Kiro though, are they?
They are in Kiro, but if you're using Identity Center, they are not part of it yet.
Okay, so they're only available on the social ones.
Exactly, or social ones, and I think you still have to be on a power plan or something.
Right, yeah, because I'm just checking my CLI and my IDE currently both don't see them, but that's because I'm a Kiro power user. So
but you're using Identity Center as well, right?
I'm using Identity Center, yeah.
Yeah,
so
for IDC.
Oh, okay. That is a good call.
And it, by the way, super funny. Git Kraken. I didn't add this one. I don't know where it came from. But anyway. So right now,
So scroll. So I missed that. Git Kraken. That isn't Git. I know that what Git Kraken is. Git Kraken, isn't that the security tool for Git?
like it is. I think like it's just an extension for Git operations for VS Code. But like I didn't add this. This is a crazy
Right.
part. Like, and I know what add this. The strands edited. So I have a talk today about strands. So I wanted to talk to them about the strands hero power. And my guess is yes, strands edited directly.
Okay.
But the funny thing is, I would have expected this to work with only strands related tasks when the strands thing is strands power is activated. But right now it's not actually. Yeah, but we are I would say we are testing things right now on live stream. Yeah, we learn through live stream. But anyway, so this is a Kiro CLI that you mentioned. Like one really cool thing that came recently is the help agent. Like before the help hashtag help was sorry /help was just bringing the classic CLI application help tools to you, but now you can say, can I create a spec file from CLI? You can ask your question in a native natural language, and it will answer you somehow, right or wrong. All right. Sorry, like this is done.
No worries. Okay.
The fix is done and everything. So let's see how it looks like and see if it's
That's
going to
better.
work.
Oh no, I haven't started yet. So
No, we didn't start yet. So it seems like it didn't fix itself.
What's going on? Opus
Yeah.
is letting you down, Sally. Opus is letting you down.
Yeah. I should have taken auto mode. Auto knows what it's doing. Ah, shame. Still broken, like me. when, when you do
Oh man.
did you think we'll get you both fixed up? Yeah, sure. I mean,
I like how you're short and sweet. Fix it.
Yeah.
Broken still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's this. There's always like some memes about like don't touch broken inside or something like this, and people just comments, "Me too, mate. Me too." It is like that, and I will still use Opus 4.6 because Fugati is not my favorite LP. I mine is more invent and simplify. So for me to invent and simplify, I go with Opus. Yeah.
I do like it when it makes some of these things and you kind of end up going round and round. I tend to, I give myself when I'm using these tools. If it hasn't fixed it after 2 or 3 times, I take a moment to think. I wrote a blog post about this, and you should time box your activities when you're using these tools, right? Because the danger is going and chasing your tail for like half an hour when really if you just stopped and maybe approached it in a different way, you would have got the answer more quickly.
I think one point is yesterday we had a lot of discussion. I'm always talking about yesterday because it's a very fresh event, and I think there were like great questions and conversations as well. That like when we use AI, we have tendency to get lazy. Like what I did, like what I wrote was very simple, like still broken, like me, and we are hoping that it will understand everything from the context, but it is not. Like the LLMs are as smart as the information that they receive. It's like
Yeah.
I mean, this is my take. Opinions are my own, but it's like people and books. You know, like when people read more books, they have tendency to look at the world differently. They have more knowledge and they become smarter. And same here. You give more knowledge, it gets smarter. But if you don't give any knowledge, it will be not very very smart that you think or you hope to be. Uh, but funny enough, it just ended the task with the outer. All right, so let's see if it works. Oh no, oh no. All righty, so I'm just refreshing. I'm writing Sally. Yeah.
Oh.
What the? I don't know.
Okay. I think we need to do something different. So
Yeah, I
this is
think
this is what I would do. I would right click. I would bring in. Let's bring in the inspector. Let's bring
all
in the
right.
inspector.
All right.
Okay.
Do you want to do this, or do you want to do like even see the page sources?
We can
Something.
do well. I mean, I normally use the top left little icon to navigate to what we want. That's it. That one there. And
Yeah.
I hover over the element.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's an element there, and just if you go, there's a if you can narrow it down just to the actual specific element, because there's actually when you were hovering, you could see that the actual completion arrow was its own element, right? So that's too broad. That's actually the container, right? But if you actually, gosh, look at me
You
talking.
want to see the
Look at me talking front end.
yeah. So
That's
you
the
just want to
that's the
see
one.
the progress bar.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
I thought
basically,
you
so
wanted to see
so
the
what I would do is
element.
I would I would either copy that as text if it's possible, or
Yeah.
take a screenshot and use that. But basically, that's kind of like that's the kind of approach I've taken when I get issues like this. Right, is that because you're looking you're giving it stuff it understands, right? You want some concrete
Yeah.
pattern matching to go with. So let's see if that approach may be more effective.
I mean, we can also manually change this to done. You know, done. You see. Now, I think the problem is not on the progress bar, though. I think the problem is the round text. So I would do what you say, but for this thing, it does it make sense? Like, I really want this to like
Yep.
our problem is not about the progress bar because we don't even know. Like, we want the okay. First of all, let me revert this to B3.
Well, I'm just thinking. There's probably it's not just that we don't want to just hide it, right?
Yeah.
There's logic, there's code that supports that. We don't want
Yeah.
that in our code base, right?
No. No, absolutely, absolutely. So from my side, that's why I want to just copy this element and say that like there's a problem in this element, and the round information is shown as 3, even though we haven't we did not even answer a question.
Yep.
All right. Okay, I'll say. No, not Opus 5, Opus 4.6. Yeah. So with the following element, we have an issue. The progress bar is not the problem, it seems. Even though I did not answer any question.
So I think
Yeah.
we might confuse it if we do this, Sally. I
Yeah.
think what we want to say is that the progress bar is still there, and it shouldn't be. We've asked you to remove it, and we've seen this code that's displaying it. Can you please remove the progress bar and then just leave that as reference so that it uses that to be able to find the code?
I misunderstood what we are trying to do. That's my mistake.
No, it's not. It's. I think that we don't want to have a progress bar, right? Because
Okay.
the concept of a progress bar doesn't exist, right?
Okay.
Because the thing is that the player
Yeah.
can choose how they want to navigate the game, right? And some players will go the fastest way, some players will do different, right? But there's no concept of a like completion, right? as if you not like, for example, if you had a linear game,
Yeah,
then
yeah.
yes, absolutely. But this is not a linear game.
No, 100%. 100%. Now I understand. Now I understand. I didn't understand it before, but now I
That's
understand.
okay, no worries.
Sorry?
That's all good. That's all good.
Yeah. Yeah. I think with a simple explanation, it should just get rid of all those all those extra information already. But yeah, it's really cool. But sometimes here's a question too, because it goes back to our initial conversation about doing things manually or not. But for example, this thing, I could have done it in 5 seconds. Like this is a super easy thing, right? It's just deleting the references.
Yeah.
And we are doing this through AI because we decided to go with this way and so on. How do you generally find the balance on what to do manually and what to do? Like,
So this is a
why?
very interesting topic. I agree, and we have touched upon it in previous episodes, right?
Yeah,
My view is if you do make changes, the one thing you've got to do is you've got to tickle the LLM, right? Because the LLM is going to be thinking that it owns the files, it controls it,
yeah,
and you making changes now, effectively, you've got code drift, right? Not
yeah,
configuration drift. You've got code drift. Actually, Sally, I was reading an internal blog post from our principal engineering community,
yeah,
okay, who share some of the best practices for working with Kiro and AI code assistants. And this is one of the things they actually say. They say, do not mess with the code, do not change the code, do not edit the code. And they
yeah,
said, if you do, make sure you ask the LLM to reload and review all the files. So it was interesting that I was reading that internal blog post, which
yeah,
is unfortunately we can't share, but it kind of like it just kind of solidifies for me that there's nothing wrong with you viewing or editing the files, but if you do, you will have a code drift from the LLM. Okay, so we talk about configuration drift, which people are familiar with, right? It's when
yeah,
the state of the infrastructure that you deploy into is different to what the tool you're using thinks. Okay, and that can lead to issues, sometimes catastrophic issues. And I
yeah.
think this same thing is true with code. Ah, look, it's working.
Yeah, it is. It is gone. It is done. We have like the score and streak is working fine, so it's nice. And you can see your name. This was the demo result, and this was the one that I manually fixed everything. But right now we are good. I think let's now we can focus on the fine tuning. For example, the background of this.
The
Like, did
theming,
you
the theming, yes, the theming. So
like?
that was the last. Now that we've got we've ironed off all the niggly bits, and actually, it's probably worth pausing there. One of the things that I found, okay, during this stage of development, is I open up a new Markdown document, okay, in my project, and I call it issues.log.md,
Yeah,
and I actually have a format. So the format actually is in a blog post. So I'll actually let's see if I can find the blog post so I can share it on the link. So 2 seconds. Yeah, debugging issues with. So yeah. Basically, so here is the link. Okay, and what I so this is the link. This is the link. It's a blog post, and actually I'm going to share my screen very quickly,
yeah.
Sally, just to show people what
Did
I
you
mean.
write this one? Or
Sorry.
did you write this one?
Yeah, I so
Yeah.
this blog post really is basically debugging and troubleshooting. Okay,
Yeah.
and effectively I've condensed all the things I've learned over 2 years are to help you be much more effective in actually debugging issues. Now, what I do is effectively I create an issues.log file. Okay, and the structure is, and the important thing at the top is to give it some instructions of what it can do, what it can't do. So things like, always runs tests after making changes, never change tests, etc. But then actually I have a structure: issues and fixed issues. And the idea here, okay, is that if you ask it to when you're debugging, rather than asking it to fix an issue, what I do is I write the issue in this markdown document. Okay, and this way I can actually basically provide as much information as I want. You can see here I've done that, right? And then I say, can you look at the issues and fix the next issue and only next issue? Don't do more than one issue, right? In fact, actually, I think I say that do not proceed until the next task until the application is working. Fix only one issue at a time, right? So what I do is I take it out of the chat interface and into a document, and then I allow Kiro to then kind of do its thing, right? So that's kind of like what I practice. So and the reason why I do that is that as you're testing, okay, the application, like what we've been doing, we keep a track of record of all the issues, and that becomes states, right? And we can use that information as context in the future, right? If there's any issue. So that's something that I do to help, structure more the troubleshooting and how you use these tools to guide the LLM rather than going through that chat, that chat interface, which is ephemeral. Try and provide more structure to it.
So do you think that I should copy this? And
we could try it. Let's go for it. Let's do it. Let's create a file called issues.log.md in your root of the project, and then what we can do is we can, obviously that template, you'll need to delete the stuff that's already in there, right? Because as in like the issues, because we don't have any issues that we've gone through this at the moment, so we'll have to put our first issues through this. But I think I'm just trying to think of issues we've got, and I don't think we've really got any issues at the moment. So we'll have to leave this here for the moment whilst we're doing the theming and seeing if we can use it during the theming. See if it can be helpful then.
Okay. So let me copy this thing very quickly, and
I think it's interesting because AI coding assistants are especially helpful when it comes to helping us debug and troubleshoot issues. But again, like anything, you do need to learn what works most effectively for your use cases. So what I say is, don't just use it as a search bar, right? Because if you do that, your results will vary. There is definitely techniques and structure that will help these tools, including model selection, right? So definitely check out that blog post and let me know what you think. It works for me. I use the mechanisms and approaches in that, and actually some of them are very similar to prompting, actually. The context and the situational awareness is really important.
All right, so I go back, and so I copied it, and I would just create a new file and call that issues.md, and I paste it. And of course, like you said, the issues here are not the issues that we have. So I will just remove what you are doing, and I will just remove the fixed issues as well. So
actually, so what you need to do is don't remove the boxes though, the check boxes. So you need to put if you delete everything apart from the actual the open square brackets. That's it.
So you are not writing the issues.
So you are writing the issues. That you can delete the so those all stay. Actually, no, those are because
these are just Python stuff.
It's Python stuff. So what we do is basically we'll use this, not now necessarily, but we'll use it when we encounter a problem. Actually, we probably need to edit because we haven't got any tests, have we? So change it so that basically the first two basically can be gone, can be removed. Although obviously this was something that if you have tests, then do that. I think the remaining ones and the last one as well, the delete planning docs, that one.
Okay.
But apart from that, those three are good. So we might have to come back to this document as and when we bump into issues.
Okay, I think this could be under point hero folder, though, right?
So it depends. I mean, it's a good call. I've always left them in the open as a project artifact. But if as long as Kiro can view them as context,
Yeah.
then yeah, it could absolutely be as a context file. Absolutely, yeah, could be, or even maybe at some point think as a skill potentially. I don't know. I think the important thing is to provide that effectively the scratch pad that it can go see what previous issues were. Now, I borrowed this technique actually. I discovered this technique when I was exploring the AIDLC framework that Amazon released last July, which is you can imagine it's like spec-driven development, but it's like times 10. It goes really, really deep into kind of the architectural artifacts, goes really deep into user stories and all that kind of stuff. So
But
it's actually
open source, right? Like this thing that you mentioned is not something that is out there. It is.
Yeah, exactly. So there's an open source repo. People who are familiar with my open source newsletter, I shared it, I think, last month. I will try and find the link to the project. Let's have a look. Where is it? Here we go. AIDLC workflows. There we go. First one. So I'm going to share that link in the chat.
Yeah, Ricardo's open source newsletter is one of the cornerstones in my eyes for
Thank you.
our
You're
written
You're too kind. You're too kind.
No.
Written
Nope.
with love.
I mean, you know that I'm not a nice person, okay? But yeah, okay. Definitely, if you're not checked out, I just want to check how many, and you wrote 218 of these.
218 editions, and sadly I think it might be coming to an end. I'm trying to find someone to take it over, and I think I might have found someone, so hopefully, fingers crossed, it will continue.
Oh man.
But let's carry on. Let's carry on. So yeah, the links there are to something that's different to spec-driven development, but it's kind of similar as well. It just goes super deep, right? And there's associated blog posts that you can read and white papers that talk about why these sort of things are important. And I actually borrowed the concept of issue logs whilst I was experimenting with that. I found so issues log isn't part of that workflow, but as I was experimenting with it, I created it and found actually it was a really, really helpful workflow. So let's see as we start diving into the actual theming of this, which we've already tried once, Sally, haven't we? We tried it once and it failed. So let's see if the second time we master this.
I will go step by step. Like what I will do is, first of all, I want to try something. I know it's not going to work, but I want to try something. I actually want to just say, like, right now the background is black. I want to change the background with this backdrop graphic.
Okay.
Only problem with this backdrop graphic is there's a text on the left top, but we can just change the asset manually.
Oh, okay. Let me quickly get the asset view with the text gone, right?
Oh yeah,
so
I wait.
It will take 2 seconds for me to do that.
Yeah.
One of the advantages of having the asset export.
Yeah. By the way, sometimes I stop sharing on purpose because I have only one screen and I need to jump in between stuff.
Oh yeah.
That is why, like, if I download an image or if I need to check out anything at all, I always
that makes sense.
Share.
That makes absolute sense. So I've got the file for you without the text.
Right.
And just sent it to you in Slack, so you should be able to download that quickly.
All right. I'm very excited to use our very great way of building things. All right, so I go back now. I share my screen, entire screen, because YOLO. All right, I came here and say, so I will say right now, the background of the application is black. Can you change it with the image that I share? The reason that I think it will say no is because when you use this kind of images, it needs to be part of your application. So I don't think it is capable of taking this image and keeping it as a save it as an asset into the project.
Right. So actually, so it's interesting because when I was messing around with this, okay, I actually started with an empty code repo and I had a directory. And in that directory, I had an assets folder. And
Yeah,
in that assets folder, I had images and audio.
yeah,
And what I did is I actually put those images into that directory and then I referred to them in prompts, okay,
yeah,
because I knew that those were high resolution, high definition images and it
yeah,
could use them, right? And actually, obviously, I wasn't using React. I was just using, I think, Bootstrap, I think, as the UI layer, right,
yeah.
to do that. And that worked really, really well, right? But again, I don't know. I'm not a front end person, so I don't know if that's the right way of doing it. Okay, maybe there is actually a better way of doing it.
No, that is the right way to go, and that is why, like, right now it says I make the changes that you need, but it says you still need to do an additional step, and it will explain me what I should do. So it will basically, like, what we need to do is, like I said, we would just copy and paste the assets into an assets folder. And it says like all three screens are now wired up to use the map. One thing they have to do is like to save the file. And just drop the part match image into the location of a work. The public folder in the beat serves as it is as the root. So like it says put it here. So I'm just going
Public,
to
right?
exactly.
Yeah, that makes more sense to me actually, because you want to basically be able to separate from a deployment perspective, right? The artifacts that you want to that are dynamic and the ones that are more static. So I'm guessing that's why it's doing that, right?
I think so too. I just need to stop sharing again because I need to show my file structure and I don't want to do it. I'm just dragging and dropping the image so I can come back now, present again.
So Sally, what I use when I'm traveling, I have a second. I have this really nice little screen, a USB-C screen that I have
Yeah.
as my second screen. It's a beautiful thing. It's very lightweight. A bargain on Amazon. You know, I think I paid 75 euros for it. And I tell you what, if I know that I'm going to be doing some work, then definitely think about that. Taking that in your travels next time. It's definitely worth the investment.
Yeah, I do. Like normally I do. By the way, it's broken, but it's okay. We can check out the problem. Normally I do bring it. Like normally I have either a iPad with me, which allows
Yeah. That.
there, or I have an Asus additional screen as well.
Okay,
And
yeah, the Asus one is similar to the one I've got. I think I just
yeah,
got just a cheaper brand.
this time I was hit by an early flight and I forgot it at home.
Yeah, no worries.
It
So
was
I tell you
just
what, so this is a good example. This is a good opportunity to try our issues log, right?
yeah.
Because we can see that it's actually, even though we've asked it to display the image, it's not there.
Uh,
So
but I know the problem though. We didn't do it. Like the thing is, we don't have to go to the issues because you already said like save it like this, like
right,
private BG PNG, but the background is Quest background.
just rename it then. Just rename
Yeah,
it.
exactly. We will just rename it
But we
private.
have to tell. We have to tell that we can't do this sneakily, right? And
No, no. The thing is, it already expects this to be this way. It
good
says
point.
I wired
Good
up. It
point.
says like I wired up
Yes.
everything already.
Yes. Okay. Good catch there, Sally.
And you see
Oh,
now
look
here.
at that.
So I can
Look at that. That's not
rename,
bad.
and I would just say, for example, Sally. And here's my question to you. Do you want to have this blurry thing or do you want it to
I
show?
think what would be nicer, okay, is let's say the issue is so there's a couple of issues, right? First of all, in the game board,
Yeah.
it would be nicer if we set the so when in the game board, the tiles currently sit on a black transparent layer. Can we reduce the transparency so that it's more more of the background? So I think maybe we should specify maybe 50% maybe, or I mean I don't quite know. Yeah.
Layer. Can we reduce the intensity?
No, we want to reduce we want to reduce so I think let's use terminology that I think it's going to more like, so the
Okay.
transparent that's called transparency layer, and we want to basically reduce the transparency to 40%, let's say, or sorry, increase the transparency to 50%, let's say.
Yeah, this I was just trying to remember what do we call this blurry window. But anyway, let's go with this one. I would say,
Okay.
as I currently sit on a transparent black.
Can we use Kiro to help us? Can we help? So if we ask Kiro, right, what is the square?
Yeah.
What is the square thing that the tiles are currently placed on? What do you call that?
Okay. What is the core terminology for the glassy blurry background of the game board?
This is gonna be interesting.
Yeah, I know there's a name, but I forgot it. Like,
look at that.
Morphism
style
and the backdrop filter. Yeah, I think.
Right. Okay. So
yeah.
this is cool. So I think now we can use that in the issues log, right? So let's refer to these terms, and we want to basically change the glassmorphism.
Like, we will change the intensity of it. This is the thing, and we will explain it as reduce the intensity and increase the transparency level.
Okay.
This is what
this is good. This is good.
So the tiles are currently sit on a glassmorphic, you would say. I don't know, glassmorph, but it will understand.
Yeah.
So layer.
You want to call it black layer? Is it a glassmorph? Do we refer to it as a black layer or just layer? Yeah.
Yeah. Let's do glassmorph layer. I think it will understand regardless of the color. There's no other background anyway. And we want to reduce the intensity of the morph
and increase the transparency.
Yeah, or the backdrop, and increase the transparency.
So let's say 50%.
Yeah, around 50%. We say.
Yeah.
Here's funny thing again, like about languages. In English, you say 50%. In Turkish, we say %50.
Yeah.
That is why, like when I write docs, I always like ask AI to make sure it is properly defined or aligned in English, because
and in Spanish it's the same as English. We basically say the number, and then we say por cien, which is basically percentage, right? So that's I think interesting, cool. Right, so we've got this, that we need to save this obviously, because we haven't saved it. Okay. And then what we can do is we can actually from the prompt we can say review the next issue in the issues .md file, and that's it. That's all we have to do.
Okay, review the next issue in the. Should I select the file as well, or like should I just?
Or yeah, I mean that's a good call. Yeah.
Okay, and fix it.
In theory, it should just fix it, but
okay.
Just keep do that. Just keep it simple and see what happens.
I'll just leave it as it is. Right? I'm just leaving it like this. Review the next issue in the issues. All right,
let's go for it. Let's see what happens. Let's see.
Man,
see if it works.
The word that I was looking for: frosted glass. Thank you very much, Kiro.
You see, so again, one of the understated benefits of using AI coding tools is the fact that you can use it to help you better understand the terminology, right? Yeah. When you're having to explain to folks. So,
I mean, especially like glassmorphism is something that many people probably didn't hear, but frosted glass, it immediately.
So let's review what it's actually saying in the output, Sunny, because basically it's saying actually that it's reviewed the issues. So let me find the glassmorphism. So let's analyze the code. The game board itself doesn't have glassmorphism styling. It's like applied to parent components. So it looks like it's actually going through this all.
But it didn't read the issues file.
No, it did. It says because look, we've read it. It said let me find the glassmorphism. So basically, it hasn't said it's picked up that issue.
Yeah.
It's actually picked it up, right?
Yeah.
So let's
Let's see how it looks like. Okay.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, it is definitely better. But it, no, it's okay.
The tiles shouldn't be. So we need to basically, yeah. So whilst that board is okay, the tiles should not be glass morphic.
Yeah, or like tiles shouldn't be faded; they should be opaque. I think, like right, like
Yes,
it should
correct.
be like
Correct.
different color, like a more
Yes.
dark color.
Yes.
But they
Yes.
shouldn't be transparent. So I go and do a dangerous thing, and we will play with the tiles again. Let's see. Oh no. So,
Okay, so let's go back to the actual Kiro and see what happened with the. If it didn't update, it didn't actually fix the issue. So what's interesting? Does it?
it actually fixed the issue, but
Oh
it
no, because
didn't.
it says look, it's ready for your review. So if you look at it, so the pirate background should now be much more visible. So we have to basically confirm now that we're happy for it to say yes, this is okay. So I think it's done the right job. So I think yes, this is okay.
All right.
And now let's see what it does. Let's see what it does. See whether it actually moves it to a resolved issue.
Yeah. I'm
hoping. I haven't tried this for a while, and
yeah.
Oh, you look at that!
Nice.
Happy days. So now
Nice.
so what we can do is we can add another couple of issues, right? So let's add 2 issues this time. The first is around the tiles and making them more opaque.
Yeah.
Right. Let's put them in square brackets.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Square brackets first.
Yeah. Sorry, my markdown is not the best.
Don't and again we have to phrase it slightly different, saying that the not right now. Say that basically we want to increase the opacity of the game tiles that aren't currently in play.
Okay. But like the locked game tiles.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's
game tiles are transparent. They need to be more opaque.
Yep. Okay, that's the first issue.
With a faded color.
Okay. Right. Yep.
Because if we make it opaque, it might just make it normal, and it will be the same.
Good point. Good point. Yeah, good point. Next issue is basically around the start and finish. The start and finish. I guess. I don't know what they're called. Are they called tiles or images?
Yeah.
Need to be. I guess they need to be vertically rotated rather than as they currently are.
Okay. Start and finish. Point. Let's say point indicators. Needs
on the game board. We need to be specific right on the game board.
Point indicator on the game board needs to rotate 90 degrees.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, no. They're okay. They're okay. So they need to be. So okay, we don't need to rotate them. What we need to do is we need to make them much thinner.
Like here, like this is not a square. This is a rectangle, right? So if I rotate this 90 degrees to the left, I think it. Like for
we don't want it rotate. The rotation's fine. The rotation's fine because I thought for some reason the start was left was so I think what we need to do is we just need to make it narrower, thinner, right?
Okay.
So that it doesn't overlap the tiles. So that's not so we basically needs to have
a thinner background.
I think isn't the terminology here padding? We need to have no padding, right?
Is it padding or margin?
Let's put both. Padding, margin set to the minimum.
8 pixels, right? Like let's just say to have a thinner background with 8 pixel margin and padding. All right.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Should I turn this into like a game, like start and finish point indicators backgrounds? On like sorry. On the game, no, actually, background on the game board needs to, I would say, wrap the content and have 8 pixels margin error. What do I mean by this? Wrap the content means it is as big as the content inside of it. And without the information about padding and margin, it would just wrap it around the text. Like you see here, right now, it would have been looking like this. But when I say put 8 pixel.
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. Yeah.
Margin and padding, then immediately it will.
I agree. I defer to your front end genius,
Yeah,
Sally.
no, Vida. Yeah.
Right. So let's save this then, because I think we're good. To save, and then we can now basically say repeat the prompt from before, which is basically look at the next issue in the issues log.
I'm just curious. This is a question to you. I will do what you say, but like, what happens if you say continue fixing issues?
Yeah, I mean you can totally do that as well.
But you understand it? I was just curious.
It should. So let's try it. Let's give it a go. You know, we're here at the you know, sort of bleeding edge. So let's see what it does. I might predict that it will actually pick the next one. Oh, it's Reddit, which is good.
All right. Okay.
Look at that. Look at that. Next issue, locked tiles are transparent and need to be more opaque. Look at that.
I can see the issue.
So and so I like this approach, Sally, because like I said, we have now a version history of all the little issues we fixed, right?
Yeah.
And that makes me feel good because I can go back to people saying this is what I've been working on, rather than trying to figure out in a chat interface somewhere what I've done. Now, obviously, Kiro does keep these tab histories when you open up. Oh, interesting. I like that. I like
the looks of it. Like,
but I think, you know what?
Yeah.
So let's play a tile and see what happens.
All right.
Oh, it does actually give you. It does actually. Let's do a couple more because I want to see if you can see the. I guess the only challenge here, though, right, is that a player can't see and plan ahead, because remember we got different colors and different. So having them all grey is probably not the way forward.
Okay.
So how did we? I mean, we went from basically. From having them the right colors to now them being all grey. So if we go back to the chat interface, let's see its thinking. Let's see what Kiro thought.
So the Kiro actually saw that like with disable it had an opacity and a cursor not allowed, which is normal. And it said automatically I will add a grayscale.
I'll add a grayscale filter, right? Okay, so we don't want to add.
Yeah.
So I think we probably want to remove the grayscale filter. So we can just put that in the
filter, because like it increased the opacity. Like it decreased the opacity.
Yeah, let's remove the grayscale filter.
Yeah. Okay, now it fixed.
That's better. That's much better.
Do you see? Like, I think the colors are very similar now. This is a problem for me. You know, like let me take you there again. Like it's very it's too similar to me.
Okay, so basically, what we want to do then is make the colors more muted, right? We want to make them more muted.
Yeah.
So okay, let's see. Yeah. Make the locked tiles.
Yeah. Tile colors more muted.
Yeah. See if that works.
No, right. Here is a problem, by the way.
Right.
Okay.
The SVG gradients use the same colors regardless of disabled state. I'll need to add muted color variants when tiles disabled locked.
Oh, okay. It's actually creating different versions of the tile.
Okay. So these are different. So at the moment we've only got one tile component, haven't we? So we'll have multiple ones. Yeah. I'm guessing.
I mean, right now it creates one, but uses flags to change the most likely.
Okay.
but I'm just scared that it might break everything. Oh no. What do you think? I
Yeah,
think
that
it's
works. That works for me. Definitely works for me.
we can even remove the
Let's
plastic.
try. Let's try. Let's go. Let's go play.
Yeah, that's a good question. I think it's
Oh
great.
yeah. That's good. That's good. That's good. Yep. Okay. Right. But interestingly, okay. So it actually this time it didn't ask us to confirm the fix. It's actually just assumed it's fixed. So we can see that we can see there. It's like because you can see it in the actual issue log, right?
Yeah.
So it's been a bit, it's getting ahead of itself.
Yeah, it says it's ready for your review, but it already
Yeah.
moved it. When I said no to the first one, it moved it anyway. It was like,
Yeah. So let's get through that and then proceed with the next issue.
but like I was here, like looks good to me, so maybe it will understand and
Let's see if
continue.
it picks up the next issue now, which hopefully it will do.
I will do some committing. Then my guess, I think it will do that. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Come on, Kiro. Come on.
But
You
that
can do
issue
it.
is wrapped up. On the
On
next
to the
one,
next one.
whenever
Whenever
you're
you're ready. Okay. That's right. We're ready.
let's go.
So is it going to pick it up? Let's see if it picks it up. Yes, it is. Look.
Yeah.
Look at that. So I don't know about you, Sally. I mean, do you think that's a better workflow for managing issues because I think that way it allows you to have a document where you start like doing this, and also think about it, right? Imagine you're doing this and you've got a bunch of testers, right? User testers that want to actually interact with something. You can give them a centralized, wiki document, get everyone to put their issues on there, and then feed that into this Markdown document, right? So you're centralizing issue capturing, basically.
Yeah, I really like this approach. Like right now, we did not automate it, but we can.
Oh yeah, look at that. That's much better.
Like
yes, I like.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is good, man. We are absolutely motoring, man.
Yeah, and like, what else are we missing?
So the only thing that I think now we want to basically, I mean, we don't. Again, I don't know how you would do this, Sally. We've got at the top the treasure hunt quest. We've got an icon there, right? And where we've got the treasure quest banner, okay, where we've got some text, okay. These are all going to be themed, right? So I imagine that block, right, will be replaced by an image, right, which we define and we upload, right? And this will be. We don't have that asset yet, right?
Why do you say that it's going to be themed? Like what are we? Like
so again, this is the mental model, right? The mental model is that you have. So this is a quiz application, right? And we're going to be running it in events, okay? So the kind of the hierarchy is that you have a theme, and the background image, right, is the current the pirate or the treasure map, right? But let's say, for example, we go to another event and they've got a very strong theme of medieval, right? We want to align that and be able to change the logo to that event, right? And the logo effectively will be so the actual background image is the first part of the theme. The second part of the theme is actually then the logo that we display on that first page, where currently it's the text placeholder. If we want to make it kind of like we can have a default AWS one, right, a Kiro themed one, but then for events it will be good if we could then theme it so that we're aligned to the event, right? So if it's medieval, when we go to events, they tend to have like either a space theme or something else theme, right? We have our own themes, right? So the idea is that again in the back end, when we're creating events, remember what I said about the fact that the data model is that we have effectively events have quizzes, and quizzes have question banks, right? And so effectively we're going to have in the data model, we're going to have a number of events, right, which is the top level container. And so each of those is going to have some metadata, and part of that metadata is going to be, here's an image that we want to use for the background, and here's an image we want to use for the banner, right? So that we can basically effectively theme it, right? And that's pretty much the structure. I mean, I guess we don't need to do that now, though. I'm going to ask you. That's something that is part of what we're trying to build. Okay, Is that
Yeah.
something, do you think we can come back to later after we've kind of built the kind of the MVP or
Yeah, because I
ML
think
thing?
it should be also defined through backend as well. Like we should have somewhere like an admin panel, which should be
We
very
will have.
yeah, exactly. And for that, then we can define the assets, we can upload it and basically read it. And it's going to be an interesting multi-tenant project at the end.
Well, so remember, this is going to be long-lived, right? The quiz is long-lived.
Yeah.
So every quiz we do will be an instance of, back to object orientated, right?
Yeah.
So it's just an object, right? Which will contain the leaderboard. And this way, actually, I mean, we haven't even thought about, I mean, I guess one of the things is that, as you do a new event, we haven't really looked at actually the security model of this, right? For example, we've got the new player screen, right? We're not asking people to authenticate, we're asking people to enter a name.
Yeah.
So we'll think about that when we come to sort of do the back end and the game logic. But again, it's not designed to be to have strong authentication. That's just not what this is. This is more as a way of like describing who you are.
Yeah. But I think we are at a good spot to go to the backend side of things next week.
We are. So I think it's a good point to wrap up. So what we've done today is we've managed to finish all the front end activities, fix a few of the bugs, show you some techniques to help you with that. And we'll be back Tuesday, I believe, Sally, right? Tuesday at the same time. Whereby we'll basically be going through and starting now with the back end. So I'm excited. Actually, so finally some proper stuff.
Yeah. You know what? Sure, man. Sure. I'm just pushing my changes. So next week you can take the project where we left off.
Yeah. I mean, actually, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that at the beginning of the next episode, right? Of how you would do this, right? Because I think this is the question that comes up quite common. How do you collaborate using tools like Hero when you're multiple developers with different strengths, right? So cool.
Also,
all right.
part of the like classic SDLC story as well. So I think
Indeed.
there's so much to share with the audience. But but as usual, it was really great. I think we talked a lot of really cool stuff, and we made a lot of progress. And you do the closing marks, and we can.
Okay. So thank you everyone for watching it, and we'll see you on Tuesday, where we kind of like now park the front end in all its glory, and we start to actually think about how we're going to integrate this with the back end, which is obviously for me, Sally, this is going to be a big learning for me because I'm dying to understand how this works. So until Tuesday, folks, see you then.
Yeah, take care. Bye.
Bye.